Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 New Dawn run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing another one of the characters that has received a massive buff with the New Dawn update, and is now incredibly broken, the Druid. This was already one of the strongest characters in the game and one of my favorite to play, but the New Dawn update has added a couple things that really power up the Druid. First, the ban system. Druid is one of the characters with the smallest item pool. Thank you to Vulture for pointing this out in the comments, because most regen and lifesteal items are banned for Druid already by default, so you are banning from a much smaller pool, makes it more effective. Secondly, the fruit basket item increases the number of consumables you drop, so that means even more luck when you're playing the Druid, which of course snowballs. So we're going to play the Druid and show off how powerful this character is now. I'm going to use the best weapon for this character, the loot. You want a weapon that scales with luck, because we get tons of luck for free, since the character gets free luck every time you pick up consumables, or rather, 1 in 3 times you pick up a consumable, so we've gotten a little unlucky so far and missed twice. I'm going to try to clear as many enemies as possible on the first wave here. I'm going to roll for luck or harvesting. The more luck you get early, the more consumables you're going to drop. So that has a very powerful snowballing effect. Well, I was going to ban a bunch of items, but we got 2 amazing items as our first 2 items here. One thing I might try, especially because we've immediately found items that we want, is if you only ban level 2 items on the Druid, you make the fruit baskets more likely to show up. And you also get powerful items like jerky and lure and things like that much faster. So that could be a really interesting way to power up the character significantly. You can see here that we are getting luck when we pick up consumables. When you drop one of the red fruits, the poisoned ones that damage you instead of healing you, you want to step on it manually. The green ones will get pulled in at the end of the wave, so you'll get the chance to get luck on those, luck from those anyways, regardless of whether you step on them or not. It can still be useful too, because having luck earlier, again, gives you those bonuses during the wave. But stepping on the red ones is very important, because those won't get pulled in at the end of the wave, so you need to do that in order to get the chance of getting luck from those. A roll here and roll again. Nice, 8 harvesting. One of the benefits of starting with a bunch of luck is you get those high level upgrades. Then I will roll one more time, and I'm going to pick 5 more harvesting. While I could take melee damage there, loot does scale with 50% of your melee damage. You'll just get really high damage scaling on this weapon naturally from buying luck and having it show up as the Druid. So you don't really need to buy melee damage for the Druid when you're using loot. We'll pick it up if it shows up relatively cheaply and easily, but most of our damage scaling is just going to come from boosting our luck, which has tons of other effects, and is a more efficient way to increase our damage anyways, because you buy luck in much higher amounts than you buy damage. Gotta step on that red fruit there, and we'll pick up some bonus luck. Try to kill as many enemies as possible to maximize our chances of dropping consumables. Here I'll just take 5 luck, and then here I think we can get away with 8 more harvesting. We're just going to get kind of greedy. Awesome to pick up a treasure map early. That's going to be a tremendous amount of additional items for us. And I'll take the tree, I think, over the corrupted shard, and then we'll do a reroll. All right, so here I have to answer the question of, am I actually going to just only ban level 2 items to try to get fruit baskets? And I think we will. I would ban both of these items normally, but I'm gonna try out the strategy of just only banning from a specific item level. So obviously we're not gonna buy both of those items, so the normal thing to do there would be to simply ban them so they never show up again. And we'll feel bad if we get those items back in our shops later on. But I'm gonna try to hunt for lures, treasure maps, and other powerful level 2 items by banning all the bad level 2 items, which for Druid I think is going to be pretty interesting because we can get fruit baskets more easily by doing that. One other thing that boosting our luck does, which is really nice, is that it increases the chance to turn a consumable into a crate. The crates can never be poisoned, so that decreases the proportion of poisoned fruits that you drop when you're playing the Druid, because how this character works, of course, 33% of fruits are poisoned and hurt you instead of healing you. So, but that is overwritten by the chance to become a chest. So if you have higher luck, then it's actually going to be fewer than 33% of fruits, because some proportion of them are going to turn into chests instead. We'll take the cute monkey here. This is amazing for the druid. We, of course, on this character, can't effectively use lifesteal or regeneration. We start with minus 100 to each of those. But cute monkey is a great way to heal that doesn't rely on either of those. I'm also just going to take some more harvesting, because why not? And we'll take little frog as well. Pickup radius is nice on this character, of course, because we heal through consumable healing, so we want that anyways. And more harvesting. I mean, we've gotten an absurd amount of early harvesting, which is really nice for this character. Black belt, even though it costs me 8 luck, which does decrease our weapon damage, I think maybe I should buy it anyways. The melee damage is relevant. It's not amazing, but it's still relevant for this character, and XP gain is really good. So I think we will buy the black belt. Then I'm going to do a couple rerolls to try to lock some loots, and we will lock, or loots rather, and we'll lock loot and metal. I'll take the injection as well. I do need more max HP, but more percent damage will also be good, and we'll get some max HP by leveling up. Pick up the consumable in the hope of getting a luck there, because every point of luck that you have makes every enemy that you kill more valuable, because then they have a higher chance of dropping fruits and crates. So you want to step on those manually, even the green ones. You have to be a little careful with trees. Your natural... Oops. Also, you have to not walk into attacks like that. I had some weird lag there, which threw off my movement a bit. The natural instinct, of course, when you're hurt in Brotato is to run at the trees to get a heal, but that doesn't work for the druid because sometimes that's going to hurt you, so you have to be pretty careful with killing trees and stepping directly on them. We'll definitely take 8 HP, and then we'll take 2 armor. Normally, I'd be very happy to see a 4 regen upgrade there, but I'm going to reroll this, and I'll take some movement speed. Percent damage would also be nice, but move speed is really important, so I'm going to buy that to go along with the metal that we're also going to buy. I will buy the metal here. We'll leave the injection locked. We'll do a reroll, and I will lock a fertilizer. Landmines, I think we'll pass on, so I'll roll again, and I'll lock a loot. And mastery I will buy. Again, although melee damage isn't something that we're really excited to buy, we still should pick up items like mastery that are really efficient ways to buy it. Even at half value, mastery is still a pretty solid item. So we have yet to ban too many level 2 items, because a lot of the ones that we found have been good. As our luck increases, though, we will see more and more level 2 items, and of course as we go on in waves as well. Gonna pick up this red fruit, and we should get enough consumable healing here. One thing we haven't found is any boosts to our consumable healing, which for the druid are both good and bad, of course, because it does increase the amount of damage you take as well. But twice as many fruits heal you as hurt you, and then even more than that when you take crates into account, so you still want to boost your consumable healing. Garden, another good item at level 2 for the druid, so kind of another point in favor of the level 2 upgrades strategy. And then I could start trying to buy dodge, but I think I'm just going to reroll here, and we'll take 3 armor and then 9 max HP. I was feeling like my defensive stats were a little bit low, so boosting those is very helpful. Then we will buy out this whole shop and do a reroll, buy a loot here. We did get punished and roll into boiling water again, so my ban strategy is hurting me in that sense, but then we get to lock these items. I'm going to do one more reroll here and see if there's anything else that I can get that's good. And actually, I'll reroll again. Jelly, we're going to pass on. We only have 1 weapon type, so it's pretty inefficient. That's, my favorite single by Cursed Walrus is This Garden Grows Poison Fruit. Which, as you can see, it does it does do that, and here's Cursed Walrus, so... It's kind of hard to kill the walrus here because it has a lot of health. This is a healer wave, so I'm actually just going to run away from it. I thought with the stacking debuff from loots, we might be able to kill it, but it's going to be easier just to run away from it and focus on killing other stuff. Try to increase my income and consumable healing this wave, or consumable drops for extra luck this wave. So we got 700 materials, which is great. Sure, I'll take a gecko. We have a cute monkey, so pulling in materials is nice for us. Then we'll reroll, we'll take 10 more luck, that increases my damage even further. And then, honestly, we haven't gotten to use bans at all this run, because I've been going for the level 2 ban strategy, but we've only been rolling amazing level 2 items. So that has not worked out, which is really funny. I will buy a small fish, and I'll take the scarf as well. No, we can't use the regen, so we'll pass on scarf. We'll take the tractor, and then I'll do one more reroll here. You'll notice I'm rerolling a lot on this character. That's because we're very rich, so I want to look for the specific items that we're looking for. Yeah, I'm actually wondering if maybe the Druid doesn't want to ban only level 2 items because all the level 2 items are just good for this character. But there's definitely some that we will ban and make it more likely for fruit baskets and stuff to show up. It's also possible that I should be aggressively banning some of the items that we have bought, things like the Mastery, which are totally reasonable purchases, but maybe the aggregate effect of banning just a bunch of level 2 items is stronger than buying those that are kind of on the margins. Really interesting to see how banning has affected the game's strategy so much. We'll recycle the Terrified Onion here. We'll take 15 more luck, and then we'll take 3 more armor. And then again, we're going to be able to upgrade all of our items here. Obviously, we're thrilled to see the crown. We have 157 harvesting already, and then we'll do a reroll. We'll lock a metal plate. Blood donation, you never want to take the damage over time items on this character. When you're entirely reliant on consumable healing, that's very dangerous to do. Kill as many of these enemies as possible and pick up as many consumables as possible. We have really good armor already. I wouldn't mind building some dodge as well, but mostly what I want at this point is attack speed. That's the stat that is the worst for us, and it's one of the most impactful stats for loot, because it lets you stack your debuff up much faster. But you can see how much free luck we're getting overall as well. Also, because we have the one cute monkey and a lot of consumable healing, I can just run into the middle of these groups of enemies and just tank through whatever they're doing. We'll take the metal plate here. I'll take 3 more armor. I mean, if the game gives you 14 armor at this point, you take it. Here I'm going to roll. I'm looking for attack speed because we really need to boost our attack speed, especially before fighting the Wave 11 Elite. We'll buy all of these items and then roll. Okay, here we go. Here's some level 2 items that we can ban. So we found some bad level 2 items that we can just get out of the pool and make the ones that we're looking for more likely to appear. Take the coupon and we'll buy another loot. And Alien Tongue, I could take. We have pretty good pickup radius from the little frogs already. I think I'll pass on both of those items and just roll, and then I'm going to keep buying harvesting, not because we really need the harvesting, but just because I'm very greedy. And one of the fun things about playing this character is you just get so ridiculously strong by the mid and late game, so might as well lean into that. Again, stepping on as many red fruits as we can, as long as you can support the HP loss from them. Always correct to step on them, because each one is worth 1/3 of a luck. So I actually ended up stepping on the X for that lamprey, which moved its spawn, which is actually fairly dangerous to do with lampreys. You want to avoid doing that, because then they might come at you from an angle you weren't expecting and actually get their charge off. But you can see here, wave 10, we made 600 materials. I guess I'll take the goat skull when it shows up in a box. And Gentle Alien, of course, we're taking. We're recycling Gummy Berserker. We desperately needed attack speed, and we have tons of armor, so community support, actually an amazing find. I'll take 12 HP there as well, and then 12% more damage. And let's go into the elite fight. When you're fighting in Elite, finding this level 3 loot was really nice, actually, because when you're fighting in Elite, getting a level 4 loot to maximize the total possible debuff that you can have on the Elite is really good. The amount of bonus damage that you do to enemies is based on the level of the loot. So if you get 1 to level 4, that will maximize your damage to a single target. We'll buy another coupon. Spicy sauce I'm going to take. This is sort of like banning a level 2 item, though I'll lock it here because I'd rather have the poisonous tonic this wave. But once we get some more spicy sauces, then we'll be able to... once we get a second one, that'll effectively have banned the item. We'll take mouse, even though we can't use the lifesteal. More enemies is great. Ritual is a very expensive way to buy just 6% damage on this character, so we're just going to ban it. And then we'll re-roll here, and I'll take another small fish. So we should have plenty of damage to kill the elite. The downside is that our healing is low, so I need to be a little careful. As I take hits, I'm going to have to back off and wait for some consumables to spawn so that we can heal back up, especially if, as it has been, my movement was a little poor in this fight. And this elite is typically fairly difficult to fight as a melee character, because the patterns of 3 attacks are sometimes hard to avoid. Run over here and pick up fruit from our cursed garden. I don't think, as someone who makes stuff online, you can really... Like, I don't think people buy merch for online creators, really, anymore, but if that was still a thing, then I would definitely do Cursed Walrus t-shirts. Exoskeleton, I will definitely take. This is an amazing item for us with lots of extra stats that we want. Medical Turret is another excellent way to heal for this character, so we're very happy to have that. This level 4 range upgrade I'm actually going to take. Loot benefits pretty heavily from range. It's a 200 range weapon, so which is like a actually gets longer range as you level it, but it's between 150 and 225 in range. Which is actually, we get plus 30 range on it by buying 60 range stats, because range works at half value on melee weapons, which actually is a moderate increase. It's a little more than a 10% increase to the range of our weapons, which can be fairly helpful. Just the fact that that was a level 4 item against a bunch of not level 4 items made it, or level 4 upgrade, made it more attractive, even though overall it's still not that impactful. I think we have plenty of damage to take Celery Tea, so we'll pick that up. Blindfold. This is another level 2 item I could ban. I'll lock the Potato. This is all good stats, even if you ignore the regen and lifesteal. We could get positive dodge. Crit chance isn't good on the loot because it's only 1.5x, but the base damage is really high, so it's still an okay stat. So I think we will buy the blindfold. We'll buy head injury. Nail I will buy as well. We have some engineering. This is just a little extra base damage on all our weapons. The acid we can pass on, and now that we're passing on it, I'm just going to ban it. So that's another level 2 item gone. Still haven't seen any of the items I was specifically hunting for, but we did get a couple of treasure maps, which are really good, obviously, on this character. So there's definitely some advantages from the banning level 2 item strategy already. And I'll let the Gobbler eat as many materials as I can, because as it grows, it multiplies the value of the materials that it's eaten. So we'll let it feast, and then we will harvest it near the end of the wave in order to get as much money from it as possible. So yeah, go over there and grow up big and strong, please. All right, now unfortunately, oh nice, it did get to the max level. So we were able to kill it, and you see there how much money we got from doing so. And with the Druid, you don't really have to preserve your HP that much. Obviously, we have a lot of armor in this build, so we can just run at enemies. But you are just going to drop a lot of consumables, so you can usually just run at enemies very safely. We're going to buy everything here. I'm going to buy the goldfish as well. We get a free reroll, and it's kind of fun. You may find other items that you want. I'll buy the pearl, and I'm debating about these items. I think our damage on our weapons is high enough. We're just going to ban the mastery out. And I think I will buy a ban by buying the snowball. So basically, we're spending 110 materials here on buying a ban, because we don't want this item in play, but it's a unique. And since this character is so rich, I think that's okay to do. Normally, unique items that you don't want, you should just ban them, rather than buy them, because it's a very expensive way to get a fairly marginal effect. But for this character, we have so much money, I think it is okay to spend 100 materials just on banning one item. Then we're going to lock this entire shop, because obviously this shop is great. So at this point, I'm mostly focusing on picking up red fruits. We will pick up the green ones just kind of naturally as we go. And 1 luck is a fairly marginal increase to our luck at this point, so I'm not that worried about picking up the green ones early in the wave. I would rather have them available for healing if possible. Got the loot alien over here, so we'll take that guy out. Get another crate. Crate always feels so good to get on the Druid, because you're like, oh, free item and 1/3 of a luck. Yeah, of course we'll take Vigilante Ring, Recycling Machine. This is another level 2 unique out of the pool, and also a very good one. With a high luck character like this, of course you're going to be getting a lot of crate drops, so Recycling Machine increases the value of those. I'm gonna reroll a couple times and try to get some higher level upgrades. I guess we'll take the crit chance here. We'll take the treasure map, cape, candy bag, and corrupted shard, and then we'll roll. Finally found a level 1 loot, which we'd been looking for, to upgrade that. And then here, snail, I could ban, I could lock and buy it, and basically, again, spend 94 on a ban. I guess I will do that. Goldfish, I'm not going to bother locking, but Broken Mouth, I think, is still fine, so I'm going to leave these in the pool here. Go to wave 14. Alright, well, there's still no way to tell whether Candy Bag is ever going to generate an extra elite or not. So, I'm like 100% certain that this item is bugged and is never going to make an extra elite. We did manage to kill both of them very, very quickly, which it is dangerous that item can give you 2 elites in one wave. Make sure to pick up these red fruits as well. There are certainly characters that couldn't handle that, but this is not one of them. I guess one downside of Candy Basket on the Druid is that Lifesteal and Regen are 2 of the stats that you're usually hoping to roll when you roll random stats, but are obviously not useful for this character. We'll take the feather here, I'll take another small fish. Sure, 30% more damage. And then I think I'm just going to recycle the gnome. 5 damage on each of our weapons is okay, but the minus pickup radius is actually pretty bad for this character, and 136 materials I think is better. We'll take the extra attack speed. Improved tools is awesome for us. And then we'll reroll, we'll buy a metal plate, we'll buy feather as well. Now that we have a bunch of dodge, feather is a lot more attractive. And here we go, we got a fruit basket, so this is exactly what we were hoping to find. Increase the chance of enemies dropping fruits, and that will power up this character even further. Roll again, we'll lock a dangerous bunny. Another thing about level 2 items is there's a lot of unique level 2 items or limited level 2 items that you can, if you ban a bunch of level 2 items, you can also buy out those from the shop. So you can really narrow the pool of level 2s. I think it's really interesting to explore what happens when you ban from a specific item level. Like, banning only level 1s just improves the quality of your shop the fastest, because those are the items most likely to show up, and gets you powerful items like gentle aliens and bags more often. Banning only level 3s is really interesting, especially for elemental builds, because you can get will-o-wisps, you can get tardigrades for endless mode, you can get things like improved tools. There's a lot of uniques that really spike the power of your character for certain runs as well at level 3. Banning level 2s seems to be really good for value builds, because it makes items like treasure map and stuff like that much more likely to show up. So, really interesting to think about the different ways that banning from different item levels affects the game. So here we've managed to find 5 treasure maps by wave 15, which is ridiculous. That never happens. So every crate we drop is going to give us an extra item. We will buy all these things. We'll roll here. Energy bracelet. That's another very safe level 2 ban. I think I will buy the sunglasses, though. Although I wouldn't mind banning that. Oh yeah, fishhook's another good level 2 item to hunt for. Although I wouldn't mind banning that mostly, I think I do want to build crit chance. The base damage of our weapons is just so high that boosting our crit chance is a pretty big increase to our damage output. So torture is a fairly interesting item for the druid as well. So I'll lock starfish. I'll buy the coffee and lock the metal detector. 8 HP per second is a lot of healing. It will decrease our healing overall, though, so I think I'm still going to pass on it. But this is an interesting item for the character. And then I'm just going to do a reroll. I was hoping to lock something good. I don't think we're locking Terrified Onion. Even Cursed, I don't really want that. But I think the fact that I have decent consumable healing, and we have medical turret, we have cute monkey, our healing is just better than we would get from the torture anyways, so I would rather not spend a bunch of money to just, like, decrease my ability to heal, even though the max HP and curse are both really nice. Did you see how fast that mini-boss vanished? Just one swing of my weapons and it's gone. Trying to kill as many of these curse aliens as possible. I also want to vacuum up a couple of the red fruits if we can. So we'll get that going. And I wanted to get that tree as well, but we didn't manage to. I'll definitely take another coffee, another muscly dude, propeller hat. This is a pearl just as a normal box pearl. You can tell the difference between whether it's one that shows up from the pearl ability or just in a crate because of how much it recycles for. If the pearl generated it, it would only recycle for 1. Eye surgery, obviously we can't really use this item, but I guess I'll just take it. It's a limited item, so we can pull it out of the pool by taking 2 of them. Oh, hey, right, we got an elemental damage from our snowball. Forgot I'd bought that. My XP gain is pretty high at this point. It does cost me luck, but I think I'll still take the black belt here. Then we'll take 20 luck to offset that. Roll and take some more armor, and let's go ahead and buy another level 4 loot and a starfish and a metal detector, and we'll roll. Ice cube, another unique item. I guess if this will be good if we get Frozen Heart. Then we'll be happy we have the Ice Cube. And then I will lock these items. Would I rather have... I guess I'd rather try for a cursed loot than a cursed baby elephant. So I'll buy the baby elephant and I'll roll. And yeah, we'll lock a garden as well. I'm rolling there because I have a fish hook and because our rerolls are pretty cheap. Spyglass, another limited level 2 item that's pretty good for a character that's as high economy as the Druid. So it's not only worth buying, but also worth pulling out of the pool. So it looked like it was going to be worse than just banning normally, but I'm kind of liking the ban level 2 items strategy. I think it's probably still better to just ban items that you don't want to see just as soon as they show up, regardless of item level. But it certainly has resulted in some really powerful items appearing, the fact that we've reduced the level 2 item pool so much. The reason that this works, by the way, I don't think I explained it during this run at all, is that the game chooses what level an item is going to be before it chooses what the item is. So if you ban items of a certain level, then it makes every other item of that level more likely to appear. Yeah, I'll take the missile here. Wandering bot will recycle. Fuel tank we can ban. That's a nice easy ban for this character. Take a lemonade, and then I'll just take 8% damage. Oh, nice. We got a cursed barnacle, cursed loot. All of this stuff is amazing. So we'll take that. We'll take the cursed garden and the cyclops worm and roll. Hunting trophy, sure. More ways to make money. I'll take that as well. And I guess I'll lock this loot, try to get it cursed. I will, because I could sell my level 2 for the level 4, but I'd rather try for a cursed one. I'll take the night goggles as well, and then we'll definitely buy Pearl and Pocket Factory. Which would I rather try to get cursed, because I can't buy both of them. I guess the Pocket Factory, it does give you more trees if you get it cursed, but the Pearl is very likely to be something pretty powerful for us. I'll take a turret as well. Combined with a lumberjack shirt, we could use that, and then we'll ban Campfire, another good level 2 item to get out of the way. And you can see how fast the elites just vanish there. Druid is certainly not, once you understand how to play the character, it's not the hardest character to play or the most challenging run or anything. But it's so fun because you just get to break the game every time you play it. Like, the stats that you end up with are just so absurdly high. One thing that I think Brotato does really well, which I talk about pretty frequently, is that the characters are all designed to teach you a fundamental lesson about the game, and Druid does a great job of teaching you how powerful consumable healing is, and also how powerful luck is. Unfortunately, we can't really use the ricochet, so I'm going to recycle it. I'll take the small magazine because it's cursed. This is obviously great stats for us. We didn't ban the claw tree earlier, and I'm actually going to take it now, and then we get a free pearl. That's great. 3 armor, sure. We'll take 19 speed, because my move speed was kind of low. I'm going to buy the cursed fertilizer, just for fun. And then we'll buy both of those. I'm actually just going to pass on the loot. I could get a level 4 loot, but just not something that I'm that excited by at this point in the run. I'd rather roll for the really cool items. Though I will upgrade to a level 3 cursed loot by buying like that. Take a baby elephant, we'll take a metal detector, we'll roll here. Another medical turret is another good way to heal. I don't think we specifically need it. So I think I'm just going to pass on it and try to find more fun items. Alien Eyes, does that count? Probably not. I don't think that's fun enough. Tentacle is another limited item that, again, we can get out of the pool. And let's roll here. The loot we don't need. We're rolling again. I'll take another baby gecko. We'll take a padding, again, to pull level 2s out of the pool. Saltwater, similarly. And we'll buy a tree. I guess I'll lock another loot, see if we can get another cursed level 1. even the one fruit basket is pretty powerful on this character. We've snowballed our luck so much. If we had gotten another one of those, or gotten the first one a little earlier too, I think this run would have been even more absurd. And obviously, we're critting for 1600 damage. You know, the run doesn't need to be more absurd than this, but there's plenty of opportunity to spike a really powerful item as well, and just have the run completely go off. So you can see here where I'm taking lots of damage, picking up these red fruits, but it's working out great for us. Again, trying to pick up as many as possible, and we'll just keep pulling in the green fruits in order to keep our health full. Oh, can we get it? Nice. Got the loot alien there. And one item we haven't found is a single lure yet. Take a duct tape. I don't care about capping my max HP at 129, so we'll take that. We got our pearl. We got corrupted shard. Can't really use that. No point in buying Scar going into the last wave. Adrenaline is another good way to heal if you have sufficient dodge. This is another one that doesn't care about regen or lifesteal, so you can get that. Clockwork Wasp is great with our garden. And then, sure, we'll take all these items. I'll take 14% more crit chance, and then reroll here. Pick up some attack speed. Pick up a little bit more damage. We didn't get a cursed loot, but we did get a cursed lemonade. Alien baby, I don't think counts as a fun item, really. I'm gonna roll just for something interesting for the last fight, because we don't need anything in particular. All right, lucky coin definitely counts. That boosts my luck even further. And we'll roll here. So here you go. We finally got a lure. I'll buy that just to see how many boxes we can get on the final wave. And then we'll roll again, roll again. I'm really just looking for like a legendary item, though I'll take an ashes and a baby elephant. This is gonna kill the bosses a little faster as well. And then we'll keep rolling. Earlier bag would have been really nice. Warrior helmet we don't really need. Extra stomach is a bunch of HP, but we're actually not over HP cap, but we don't need the extra stomach, though of course it would have been really good to get earlier. Okay, here we go. That's a bunch of baits. That's exactly the sort of thing I was hoping for, because that's going to make this wave a little more exciting when we get a bunch of lampreys. Cursed bait is also really dangerous as well for normal characters, not for this one, because the game doesn't tell you that the cursed bait has more lamprey spawns. It just doesn't say that anywhere. But it does approximately double the number of lampreys you get, so it's pretty dangerous overall. So let's see if the lampreys have time to actually get to me before I kill the bosses. They did not. So they were running over, like, trying to save the bosses there, but alas, we were able to overcome their buddies before they managed. All right, let's take a look at our items here. So we ended up with 19 free items from treasure maps. Actually kind of low given that we had 5 treasure maps and we had 500 luck. 235 healing off the cute monkeys. 465 materials from bag. 368 harvesting from the crown, getting us up to 829 harvesting. We saved almost 1,000 materials from coupons. 92 healing from medical turret. Only 20k damage from spicy sauce, but we didn't have explosion size modifiers or anything like that. We got 21% damage from vigilante rings. Our pearls were worth a collective 170 damage. 34 times 5. And recycling machine for 445. We got 2 elemental damage from the snowball. Candy bag for 56 bonus stats, and 157 extra fruits from 1 fruit basket. So if you got a couple extra of these, that would be a ridiculous amount. Each fruit that we drop is worth 1/3 of a luck on this character, so 157 extra fruits is 52 and a bit luck, which is obviously an amazing amount for 1 item to give you. Dangerous bunnies, of course, actually only saved us 115 materials, which is kind of funny, but they make all your other rerolls cheaper. And our fishhook actually did well. It cursed a bunch of stuff. Starfish, I would like some feedback for the devs, I guess. I wish items like Starfish showed how much money they improved your income by. That might be hard to manage, but I would like to see that. And, you know, things like Fruit Basket are the way to do it. So I was really excited to see this, and I hope that you can retroactively add stats to some of the other items that work similarly. 72k damage from Baby Elephant, 6 levels from our Cursed Barnacle, only 95 materials from the Hunting Trophy, but we got it fairly late. Alright, so that's our items. Hope you guys enjoyed this run. I know I did, and I hope you enjoy just steamrolling the game by playing the Druid. This character is so strong. You can kind of build it however you want if you're using a luck-based weapon like the lute or even the flute, which is obviously a weaker weapon, but still scales with luck, so super strong for this character. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.